Thanks, Jerry, and thanks to the RIU team. It's always great to be here and a pleasure to start the year on a positive note. Really targeting major high-grade systems and near-term production. So we think we've got a big system. We've got more than 28 kilometres of shear zone. Majority of that has been untested on Lake Austin North, up around the Q area. We've just made, in the second half of last year, a discovery at Lake Austin North. Hit 242 metres at a gram, including high-grade components within that as well, that I'll take you through. We're well funded. We've got 2 rigs drilling at the moment. We've made multiple high-grade discoveries over the last couple of years with Break of Day discovery and Lake Austin North. We think there's many more to come. We've got an existing resource base in indicated and inferred of 440,000 ounces, and the intent of the company is to grow that resource base. There's 5 operating mills in our district, and there's capacity there for high-grade feed. We're really looking for an analogy to Great Fingal. Great Fingal's in the Q district. It's a 2 million ounce ore body at about 10 grams, so it really is a company-making discovery there. And it's about 30 kilometres from where we are. And we're on 100% owned mining leases, and we have Westgold as our cornerstone investor. We're well funded. We've got 7.4 million in cash, and we've got a reasonable liquidity. So you can see our major shareholders there. We're in a little bit of a unique position with Westgold, Independence and Silver Lake in our major shareholder group, and you can see the location of the project there, just north of Mount Magnet and south of Meekatharra. Our existing resource really underpins our enterprise value. We think the re-rate's possible on a number of factors, obviously discovery and further drilling at Lake Austin, and also as production gets closer. We're in a really good belt. There's more than 20 million ounces of gold produced from the Murchison. There's operating mines all around us. We're in an area with low sovereign risk. We've got good cornerstone investors. We've got cash, as I mentioned, and we're drilling at the moment. We've made discoveries, and we're looking forward to continuing to make more. You can see there 2 operating mills are quite close to us, with the Ramelius mill at Checkers Mill at Mount Magnet and with the Tucker mill at Westgold Hold, both within about 40 k's of our Break of Day, Lena discoveries, and also Lake Austin North. Quickly on Break of Day and Lena, an existing resource base, so a high-grade vein-hosted mineralisation. Break of Day is a 7 gram ore body. Lena's lower grade but open cut at just under 2. And multiple lodes, as you can see from that cross-section, which is a schematic through those deposits. Deposits are about 130 metres apart. They've only been shallowly drill tested to date to the top 200 to 250 metres vertical, and lots of opportunity with the deposits still open down plunge. We've got good infrastructure in our district. You can see there, we've got the Great Northern Highway running up the middle of the project area. So the new discovery at Lake Austin North is about 3 kilometres off the highway. At the moment, we've got a non-binding term sheet with Westgold looking at processing of the Lena and Break of Day ores. At the moment, that term sheet obviously does not cover what is on the lake and what we're exploring. At the moment, a number of companies in the district are trucking ore to fill their plants, including Ramelius moving ore from Vivian about 300 k's away to put in the Mount Magnet mill. So we think there's strategic and corporate appeal with the district. We see a rising gold price. It was great to see the gold price rise by another $14 overnight in US terms. And look, at the moment, for us, we think there's opportunity for a standalone type position on Lake Austin and significant potential to grow what we have out there on the lake. Good processing for Break of Day and Lena, high met recoveries in that 96-97% range. Strong gold tails when we pan. Really is a high-grade deposit there, focused with the gold focused in the vein systems. The other important component of that is really strong gravity component recoveries, which suggests that reagent use will be low. The big picture and really the exploration upside for us is our analogue with what we're doing on the lake and what we see at Great Fingal. We're in the same metamorphic grade, looking at second order structures off the primary north-south position that runs really straight up that north-south greenstone belt from Magnet to Meekatharra. We're in that splays. You can see it coming off to the right rocks, right alteration, really broad alteration zones, and quartz lodes. So we think we're in the right environment. Just to focus on the Moyagi area, which is the southern part of our tenement package, the existing deposits to the south there in the red dots, and we had that section of the belt you can see denoted there that's under the lake. Now that really hadn't been explored in the past, so our focus on picking up this project has really been to get out there on the lake and drill some holes. And obviously the start with the Air Corps rig and Strike did some original drilling for us, so you can see down here, this is a typical lake system, so salt bush, not clay pan, covered in water. So it's moderately, relatively easy to get around. You can still drive a Toyota on it. And really only 10% drill tested, so lots of opportunity to make those discoveries. Key targets for us and key development is really the gravity survey data. Originally there was really broad space data, but no detail, and we're talking about sort of 10 kilometre space data. So integrating new gravity data with magnetics has highlighted opportunity for us on the lake. So we've made this discovery at Lake Austin North, and you can see some of those numbers through here. High grades at 36 at 3.6 and 52 at 3.8, 45 at 3.3. So some really significant intersections and sitting generally below about 50 metres of cover, so quite doable. Goldfields project in Kambalda, the Invincibles, under about 50 metres of cover and looks attractive. So these things can be done, and we think we've got a good opportunity here at Kew. Really, discovery is an integrated approach. For instance, we start with a detailed magnetic survey. You define what people interpret to be the major structure. In blue there, existing deposits to the south. We know we've got 10 kilometres on the lake. This section has not been drill tested. Do the regional gravity survey. It identifies some different obviously things within that data. You can see the dikes coming through, late stage Proterozoic dikes. We've got the original structure picked up from the magnetics, late stage intrusive granite, but also it's picked up this structure in here. So this one was completely untested in the past. It's a splay off the main structure. If you look at the magnetic data, it's sitting out here in this bland area. Completely untested. So the work that our team has done, Glenn Martin, our chief geologist, has been instrumental in the work we've done on the lake and off the lake and in targeting these areas, and influenced by Kelvin, our geophysicist, and together with our team on the ground has really done great work in progressing the project, and that's led to an interpretation of granite or late stage tonalite intrusives within those zones. And then the Lake Austin North target sitting in that position there. So additional interpretation takes us through to identifying further tonalites along that belt, and those can be focuses for the shear on the margins of those where we think there's potential for additional deposits. So that really has led to this Lake Austin North discovery, and you can see some of the intersections there. We had an 800 metre long regolith anomaly below the cover, at widths of between 100 and 300 metres wide, with intersections really including sort of 50 odd metres at the 0.5 gram type thing. So a really strong regolith dispersion halo, preserved Archean regolith profile. We've got a large gold system. We haven't tested this system even in the regolith north and south of this 800 metre long strike. We've tested 350 metres with diamond and RC drilling of that 800, so it's early stages, and you can see the results we've been getting. So it's been really positive. Interpretations of the geology suggest we're getting a complex system and slight flexures in a subvertical type structural environment. Typical cross-section, you can see The intrusive body in here, which is the tonalite, the structure runs up along the margin of that, and it's quite a broad zone in here. That scale bar is 50 metres, so you can see that broad zone. And here I've coloured the modest grade in red, and the hatch is the higher grade component, which is intersections like that 40 at 3 and the 30 at 3.6. This is the cover sequence, and then you've got this thick regolith profile above it. And sort of this type of analogue could also be similar to Granny Smith, where you've got that granite contact and the shear zone flexing around the margin of that granite. A section further to the south, you can see there intersections like 94 metres at a couple of grams, including a high-grade component. And the beauty of that is you have the potential then for bulk mining in an open cut scenario, and then focus still on a 50-metre type intersection from underground mining. So it brings in all sorts of opportunity going forward. We know we're still open to the north and south, and we're continuing to diamond drill at the moment on this prospect. On a regional sense, we're looking at the magnetic data in the background. You can see the structures here and the recent interpretation where we have this display coming off. This was the original interpretation running back for a number of years. So when we picked this up, we reinterpreted this data, and from the gravity data have display coming to the north. This is Lake Austin North A zone, C zone over here, again on the margin of the tonalite. This is a tonalite intrusive, sin mineralisation, so happening around the same time as the gold event. Major structure running up the margin of the tonalite. This is an enzyme leach anomaly, so a leach geochem anomaly at surface. The original interpretation was not sure what that's reflecting, but it is very close to where we're seeing the basement mineralisation at A zone. So we extended that survey. We've come up another anomaly down here, a potential continuation or a splay zone, splay structure coming off this main structure coming in this orientation, but also over 1 kilometre along, normally directly along strike from Lake Austin North A zone. And that'll be a target for us to test in the coming months with the regional air core rig out drilling at the moment. So it's an exciting target, exciting time. This is the first of the targets to test along strike, and we're looking forward to having this air core rig out here testing a number of targets going forward, defining the extents of the A zone as well, and at the same time doing a detailed approach at A zone and drilling diamond drilling at A zone to define what the resource could be potentially there. So we continue with our approach using geochemistry and geophysics and different cutting-edge technologies in those regards. We're doing diamond drilling at A zone, Lake Austin North. We're doing a regional air core program that extensional drilling to Lake Austin North A zone, as well as testing some of the regional targets. And at the same time, we're continuing with some development work we're doing in the background, which is internal studies to work out some of the economics on what we're looking at, for one, for targeting, and two, for how we go and processing the existing resource base. So really for us, we've got the resources, we have grade, we're getting strong recovery from what we have. We're in an area with excellent infrastructure. We've got a fantastic team working out there, and really strong exploration upside. And look, it looks good for a year ahead. We're very active, and as I mentioned, two drill rigs out drilling, and looking forward to results coming through over the next number of months. So it looks exciting time for Musgrave in the next 12 months. Strong board and management who have been with the company since IPO. We have a booth outside, so please come and see us. If you want to talk about any of the detail, we're happy to talk and chat about what we're doing and what the company is proposing for the next 12 months. Thanks very much, and always good to be here, and thanks to the team at RIU again.
Thank you, Rob.